y'all? What's up? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge. Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Hope everybody's doing good. I know y'all probably noticed that my voice doesn't sound its usual. That is because I've been under the weather and I'm still slowly but surely recovering from a flu. So I do sound a little congested because I am still recovering, but I am doing much better. At least now I'm able to talk. A couple of days ago I couldn't even talk. That's how hoarse I was. So nevertheless, I had to take some downtime so I could take my tea, my honey, Theraflu, everything I needed in order to get back to my usual self. So, nevertheless, y'all, I definitely want to go in today's topic, and because I've been peeping from the clouds, and I've been observing that there's been a lot of people in the black YouTube sector that's been having issues, I guess, with a certain woman that's non-colored who was on a live stream with Obsidian. I don't really know the whole situation, so I'm not going to speak a lot on it, but it's been various people that's been discussing it. And the main thing that stood out to me was that there's a lot of black women and black women that are very divided. I have two totally different standpoints on how they felt about the non-colored woman making an opinion or having any opinion for that matter on a subject that was based upon black people, the black community. And basically what is going on is that it's been a lot of people that's been responding to the video, and you have a lot of black men who feel that black women are only upset because it was a Becky who basically had an opinion on it. So, anytime a Becky, a Latina, or any other non-colored woman has an opinion, the black male community already expects black women to be offended regardless automatically, because there's already the stigma that black women will get offended the moment anybody outside of the black race has an opinion about black women or the black community. And on the other hand, you have black women who are perceiving it as it's not just the fact that she's a white woman who's giving her opinion on black women or the black community in general, but it's the fact that by her not being black, why y'all even respecting or honoring or even paying attention to what she has to say? Y'all are trying to twist it on us like we have a problem with it because she's a Caucasian woman, but we have the problem with the fact that y'all are allowing her to have an opinion on this subject pertaining to the black community of black women when she's not even a black woman. So you have both sides. Everybody is opposed to why the woman was on Obsidian's panel, and you have the men on the other hand who are opposed against the black women who had an issue with it. To me, I really don't care. I'm not a fan of Obsidian. I've been stopped watching his channel years ago. It's not me not viewing has not stopped him from progressing. So whoever likes him, don't like him, it's not hindering his success and progress with his channel. So big ups to him. And nevertheless, I did not watch it. I'm not interested in watching it. However, this is a concern for me because it's not just his channel. This has been an ongoing issue for quite some time. You have a lot of black women who have been using white men to basically speak their opinion or bring their knowledge or bring whatever information they have pertaining to black women. And you also have black men that are allowing white women to come on their panels as well and have an opinion amongst black women when they really can't really relate to black women. They know nothing about our struggles. They know nothing about our hardships. No more than Brad shouldn't be giving an opinion on black men because he knows nothing about the struggles of black men. He cannot identify or relate to the black man because common sense, he's not a black man. Okay, so I wanted to really go in depth to this because these days you really can't go on other panels and voice your opinion on these type of subjects without somebody getting offended, without somebody getting disrespectful. And these days people are only allowing you to have a voice on their panel if you have a certain amount of followers. You have to have a certain amount of notoriety in order to get a link to be heard. So this is why I have chose to do it on my channel, and that way I can voice my opinion without having to, pay membership fees and super chat and things of that nature in order to get an opinion on it. So this is my whole outlook on this. Unfortunately, black men and black women, we are at a state of an emergency. We're at the state of an emergency. We have made things far worse than it's ever been. It was bad enough we're dealing with black on black crime, but now we're living with black on black online bashing. That is the new culture. Now that we have access to social media, it's no longer you have to be protective of yourself as a black man or a black woman on the streets from the other violent black men or black women. But as a black man and black woman, you also have to be protective of yourself in the social media culture. Because now that social media has all of these different platforms, your Twitter, your Facebook, and most importantly, YouTube. Now, black men and black women have a voice to say everything that they weren't always privileged to say. And the black community, we have been silenced all the way up, way back from when our ancestors had no rights, was not treated as equals. And to this day, now that we have come from a long place of equalism, and we no longer have to cross that hurdle of segregation and things that kept us divided and kept us from being privileged to have the same rights, the basic things of just having a freedom of speech. Now that we have been blessed and our ancestors have fought hard and have lost their lives, some even left this world fighting for our freedom. And now that we have this freedom, and even more so through the through the platforms of social media, the truth is a lot of us are over abusing it. And it's gotten to the point now to where you have a lot of outsiders, non-colored individuals that have been able to benefit off of black men and black women having so much discord amongst one another. So my recipe for this evening, y'all, is why the Brads and Beckies are capitalizing off of the hate in the black community. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there like me, you may dabble in the fuckery from time to time, but if you have any type of real maturity as you get older, just certain things within the YouTube and the black YouTube sector, it will not enthuse, it is no longer going to enthuse you. If anything, it will become irritating to you. It will no longer soothe you. It will no longer amuse you. And as we get older, a lot of black men and black women are becoming more divided than ever before. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that everybody is so programmed in their own mindset. And everybody, both men and women, feel justified in in what they feel. In other words, you got black men that are strong in what they believe about black women, and even the most intelligent black woman is not going to change their mindset on that. And you have black women on the other hand who are also very strong candidates in what they believe about black men, and there's nothing even the most intelligent black man can say that's going to reprogram that. So this is where we are. The basic summary of what's at hand is black men and black women just do not respect each other. They do not respect each other, period. Now, I'm speaking more so in the terms of social media, okay? Social media is the standpoint I want to stay upon, because once I go outside of social media, then I'm going to have to address too many issues, and that's just too much. So I'm speaking in the sense of the cyber bullying and the cyber bashing that has basically taken away a place of intellect in which black men and black women can have civil conversations and agree and disagree respectably without tearing each other down, without degrading and bashing one another. And basically what has happened, you have had all of these other outside races that have become an audience, because social media is social media, meaning it's social. Any and everybody is allowed to pretty much have access, okay? And even in these black sector spaces, no matter which channel you go to that is being operated or owned by a black male content creator or a black female content creator, you will have an audience of different races that observe, analyze, and basically they attest to all of the behavior and how black men and black women interact with one another, how we socialize with one another, and basically how we communicate with each other. And what has happened is, even though you don't see a lot of black men or black women on these, white men and white women, or women of other cultures or other ethnicities, Puerto Rican, Latina, Mexican, whatever, even though you don't physically see too many of them on these panels, which we know now we're starting to see that a lot. We see that Fresh and Fit. A lot of these content creators now are starting to formulate their platforms in which they're allowing other races to come in and join and formulate an opinion on the opposite races. And we've seen black female content creators as well invite white men or white women on their platforms as well. So again, both black men and black women are guilty of this. We're not going to take sides. We're not going to pick and choose and only pick out the ones we want to make more relevant, to make our narratives more valid. So what is starting to go on is you have these other races that have observed the way black men and black women communicate with each other. And as all of us know, the way that black men and black women communicate in the black YouTube sector has not been healthy, has not been positive. Nowadays, when you go into any of these live streams, when you go to any of these channels, and black men and black women on the panel, it's almost like going into a club in the hood. If you ever went to a club in the hood and a fight jumps off because people don't have too much Hennessy, they don't have too much, Ciroc, a black woman gets mad because a brother, stepped on her Louis Vuitton shoes, or a black man gets upset because the female who he been buying drinks for all night, he thought he was going to get some, only to find out after he done spent on 5 Hennessy's and a couple of Crown Royals that she's still not going to give up nothing. Now he wants to disrespect her, curse her out. We've been in these type of environments once upon a time in which we've seen that when black men and black women have conflict, it is brutal. Chairs are being thrown. I mean, it is a fuckery escapade, okay? And that's basically what has happened in the black YouTube sector. When you doing any drive-bys in these spaces, you see black men dragging black women through the mud verbally, and you see black women disrespecting black men as well. It's a lot of cursing, excessive profanity. You got black men dropping the B word like bombs. You have black women, also being very vulgar and disrespectful in how they attack black men as well. We don't even have to go through the details. We all have been through a fuckery festivities in a black sector in which we've seen black men and black women continuously disrespect one another. And what has happened is these other races have also learned the animosity and the hatred among black men and black women. Because how they know is because we speak on it all the time. There's not too many spaces that don't have any type of black bashing. It's either the black women that are black men bashing, or it's either the black men that are black woman bashing. It's not too many spaces who don't do it. And the reason for it is because most people, for one, it brings them a lot of views. That's number one. Number two, you have a lot of black men and black women that are very bitter and very scorned, and they hold a lot of animosity towards the opposite sex. And what is going on is you have a lot of these individuals who have become content creators, and what they're doing is they're building their platform on the foundation of brokenness, of rejection, of bad or negative experience in which they have encountered with the opposite sex. And this is the reason why there's so many black men and black women content creators that are so driven, and they have so much passion and dragging and constantly spitting and talking negatively on the opposite race, because you have a lot of black men that are harboring they are harboring hate for black women that have rejected them, that have not accepted them, and have not respected them. And it is the same thing with black women that are harboring a lot of hate over black men because either their baby daddy failed them being a good father to their children. Some black women were raised in a household with black men that weren't really fathers. In other words, the black community as a whole is broken. All of us are broken in some form or another. But in most instances, most black men and black women, they do not want to own their pain. Instead, they want to they want to it's a word called they basically want to shame. It's gender shaming. That's the word. They want to shame the other gender for why they are the way that they are. It's basically another form of deflecting. As long as I can point out how fucked up you are, I don't have to explain or accept my fuck ups as a black man or my fuck ups as a black woman. In other words, I'm gonna just keep calling the opposite sex out on their bullshit. That way I don't have to own mine. That way I don't have to acknowledge mine. So that's my way of downplaying my struggles, is by constantly bashing the opposite sex of their struggles. Because all of us have struggles. But it's easier to not have to own or accept your failures when you can consistently and constantly point out the failures of others. And that is where the black community is as of this point. It's a lot of hurt people, and like my grandmother said, hurt people hurt people. The black YouTube sector has become the new playground for miserable black women and scorned black men. But a lot of y'all, especially you subscribers, y'all don't think that your favorite content creator, you don't think he's a bitter black man. Why? You know why? Because he has all of these views, he has all of these cash apps, and a lot of his content seems to be hitting a lot of points of which you can relate to. A lot of his viewpoints, talking points are very relatable. So therefore, he sounds highly intelligent only because you can relate to the same level of misery that you once upon a time experienced yourself with black women as a black man. And the same thing for black women. It's not that a lot of these black female content creators are so intelligent and they're so smart and so educated. What it is, a lot of black women could relate to what the female content creator is saying, because they too have not had the best of positive encounters with black men. So pain has a way of making people relate to one another, has a way of drawing people to one another. Nobody really wants to go in a space in which somebody's going to go against how you feel, because listening to a content creator who goes against what you feel is going to make you feel as if something is wrong with you. In other words, if I'm a black woman who already hates black men, who have given up on black men because maybe I was molested by a black man, or maybe my 2 baby daddies failed me as a black man, I'm not going to go to a space in which a black woman is going to talk positively about black men, because she cannot relate to my pain. She's going to, her positive speaking points is going to become like a sword. It's going to become a kick in my face to my insecurities, because again, I have already programmed myself to hate black men. So the last thing I want to do is listen to a sister, even if what she's saying is making good common sense, even if she is giving some relevant information that can possibly help me change my mindset. The thing is, I'm comfortable with my mindset, and if I allow this woman's good talking positive points about black men to infiltrate my mental, it's going to start having me second question myself. As for if I support the woman who hates black men or does not respect black men like I no longer do, it prevents me from having to acknowledge my faults and my failures. Same thing with a lot of these black men. They're not going to listen to, if you're a broken black man and you resent black women because black women have wronged you, maybe your own mother has failed you, you haven't had the best pleasant experiences with black women, the last thing you're going to do is go to a space in which a black man is either encouraging black women or is either speaking positively about black women. That's going to irritate your soul, because again, you have already programmed yourself to feeling a certain way about black women. And to allow somebody, even with good intentions, to give you a different way of how to deal with black women or to perceive black women, what's going to happen is it's going to make you question you as a man, and like make you reconsider your faults. And one thing we know about the black community is allergic to the word accountability. And this is for black men and black women. We don't like having to own our failures. We don't like having to own our faults. So it's easier to point out the failures and faults of others. Another point is, whether we want to admit it or not, black men and black women, the black community as a whole, we are all broken in some form or another. And I know broken to y'all because everything is about money and everything is about notoriety. But when we mean broken, you can have money in the bank and still be broke, okay? You could be emotionally bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt. There's this myth in the black community that as long as you got money and as long as you got views, as long as you got success, you're not broken. We've seen over and over, God has revealed time and time again, these content creators who we thought was so great, who we followed, who we worshiped, who spoke on points, bashing the opposite sex that made us feel good about ourselves. When it was all said and done, they skeletons came out the closet. They were struggling with health issues. Some were struggling with marital issues. Some were struggling with relationship issues. So these people who we worshipped and idolized, that spoke on things and spoke on narratives in which we tended to respect the most, we found out in the long run that even underneath all of the super chats, all of the high amount of subscribers, that they were still human beings who had their own demons, who had their own struggles, that you would not have known had they not lost their channels, or had life not went a different direction for them. You would have not known their personal struggles. You would have still been around here praising and worshiping them, and making them y'all God, and making them y'all relationship mentor and all this other stuff, not even realizing that you're worshiping and praising somebody who's having difficulties with their own health, with their own marriages, with their own relationships with women and with men. You would have not known. But that's what I like about life, that things do have a way of revealing themselves. So that's why you never put any man or any woman on the pedestal, because sooner than later you're going to find out they got struggles and difficulties just like you. So this brings me to my overall point. This is why so many Brads and Beckies have been slowly but surely able to infiltrate into the black sector spaces. And I blame the black community sector for that. I blame both black men and both black women for it. And the reason I blame the black community is because y'all are harboring so much hate for the opposite sex that you're willing to grant anybody a pass. And it doesn't matter that person's color, it doesn't matter that person's nationality, hell, and most importantly, it doesn't even matter what their true intentions are. As long as they're co-signing and going along with your narratives, you're willing to give them full-time membership and full-time access into bashing your own people. And what's been going on is the Brads and the Beckies have become hip to the game. Because one thing about the black community, we are very accepting, especially when someone is accepting of our bullshit. Somebody's accepting of our misbeliefs. Somebody's acceptive of our principles, our theories. The black community, we have always been brainwashed to accept whoever makes us truly believe they accept our point of view. And people don't really have to produce any receipts. You got these Brads that are coming into black women's spaces, saying all the positive and great things that they know black men would never dare say to black women. You know why? Because these Brads have been sitting in the audience, they've been peeping game, and they've been seeing how they could capitalize off the weaknesses of black women by coming up with dialogues, coming up with narratives that will suit the attention and the needs of black women, because they see so many, not all, because not all black men act this way or apply the black woman bashing principles. But the Brads have been able to witness the brothers that do support the black women bashing. What they do is they promote content that speaks the exact opposite, but in a more positive manner. And what happens is, because black women go through so much disrespect in a lot of these black dominated male spaces, that eventually they leave the channels and they look for a new space and a new place to feel welcome. It's just like any other environment. You go to somebody's house, they're disrespecting you, treating you like trash, not even acknowledging your presence, make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to grab your car keys and you leave it, and you're not returning back to that house because you don't feel welcome there. That's the same way these Beckies have been able to capitalize off these manosphere spaces, these black male dominated spaces, because they have witnessed black men talk so poorly about how black women don't submit, how black women are trash, how black women this or black women that. And what has happened is the Becky has learned to play the role and be the exact opposite of everything that she hears these manosphere points of stating that black women aren't. She learns to go into the black male space, be more kind, be more humble, be more submissive, be more laid back, allow the man to mostly dominate the panel. Now the funny part is, if a black woman comes into the space and she tries to humble herself and not be the typical ratchet black sister that most of the manosphere men claim black women are, she's still not going to get any credit. They're gonna feel like she has motives. They're gonna feel like she's being a pick me. So in that sense, black women just not going to stand a chance being accepted in a male dominant space that has been promoting the narratives that black women are not feminine enough or too feminist. And the same thing, black men are not going to stand a chance going into a space, even if he's genuinely wanting to learn about black women, want to be in a relationship with a black woman. He can't go into space, even if he's being polite, even if he's being a gentleman. He can't go into space with a bunch of red pill patricias that cannot stand black men. He's going to be considered a simp. He's going to be considered trolling because of what the platform has built the foundation upon. No one who does the opposite of that is going to be welcome there. And that's the same thing. So you got these Beckies. They have learned the art to pleasing black men, to being appeasing of black men. And to be honest, some of them ain't doing nothing really magical over top to get there. All they got to do is have the complexion for the connection. Because again, there's been this negative narrative that's been so deeply programmed. The code cannot be deactivated amongst black men and black women. We can't break the code. It's so far gone, there's no hope at this point. So even if a black woman is going into a black male space because she really wants to learn more about black men, she wants to communicate with black men, if Becky is there, the brothers are still not going to give that sister that shine. They're not going to give her that acknowledgement. They're going to give it to Becky. Now, the thing about Becky and Brad, what a lot of brothers and sisters, what y'all aren't realizing is, y'all don't understand. There's some grimy Brads and some grimy Beckys. For whatever reason, the black community has programmed themselves to feel safe with the outside race. But the black community, there's no trust, there's no loyalty, there's no real substance. So we don't feel comfortable with giving each other the benefit of a doubt. We just don't feel comfortable with that. But what a lot of y'all are not understanding is these Brads and Beckies have found out the combination to the game. They have figured the black race out, because the black race, we so emotional. Both black men, both black women are so emotional and so egotistical. We don't put all our cards on the table. We left nothing to the imagination. These Brads and Beckies, they know just how to play our hand, because we done put it all out there. And you know what the crazy part is? We not even mad at them. We mad at each other. And both of us are guilty. Both are guilty. I'm tired of black men only wanting to hold black women up to the standard of accountability. And I'm tired of black women who only want to go in all day about how black men ain't taking accountability. When Ray Charles can see both black men and black women are allergic to accountability. No, ain't nobody gonna own shit. We too busy talking shit, but we not gonna own our own shit. That's just the culture, our mindset, and that's why a lot of us can't grow and get anywhere. So you have these Beckies and these Brads that I've learned to do what I call black cuddling. Black coddling. What's black coddling? Brads know how to coddle a black woman's mental by telling her she's worthy. Brad knows how to subdue the brokenness of the black woman. He knows how to tell her black women are special, black women are pretty, black women are royalty. But at the same time, he could be that very Brad that has a white wife and wouldn't dare give up his white wife to be with a black woman. Or if he does get a black woman, he's going to get one that's highly educated, that's highly well together, nothing like these bottom of the barrel ratchet chicks. He's going to get one of high substance and quality, something that he's not going to be embarrassed of. So so while you have the red raging brother that's on his platform saying that black women are hair hat wearing hooligans, that black women are overweight, that black women are uneducated, that black women have a high body count, more body count than a damn graveyard. Here comes Brad, the black female, the black cutler. Again, I blame the black community. All of this is y'all fault. This is y'all fault. Y'all have made it easy for the Brads and the Beckies to infiltrate into the black sector spaces. Y'all have created these monsters because y'all have made them believe that they are better off with us than we are with ourselves. Y'all created this. Y'all got these Brads and Beckies who y'all allow to come on y'all platforms, who y'all allowed to degrade and drag the other race, knowing that all of us have been handed different obstacles. How can a Brad talk about how black men are not successful when, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but Brad probably had his father in his life, the majority of his life, unlike the black community where the majority of black men probably been raised in single parent households. Brad probably had a father who he saw, loved his mother, provided for his family, and not only provided, but he left an inheritance in which Brad didn't have to struggle and go out there and get his own. Brad was able to become successful, being left as an heir, being passed down the family business. Unlike the black man who probably didn't have a father in his household, he had to build his business from scratch. So both the oranges and apples, they're nothing the same. Y'all let the Brads and Beckies stroke y'all ego, come into y'all platforms, tell y'all everything y'all want to hear, only for them to learn your craft, learn from the Becky learns from the black man how to critique black women, how to stroke and build the ego of the black man. So guess what? She sooner than later creates her own platform. Next thing you notice, all of your male audience, now they over there congregating and having praise and worship service with Becky, who you put on your platform. And no different than Brad. Now all your female subscribers, they're over there congregating with Brad on his channel. While y'all looking at it as protection, the Brad and Beckies are looking at it as an investment. They learn all your manosphere view talking points, learn and regurgitate it, make coffee mugs, make t-shirts, sell all books, seminars, teaching everything that they don't learn from copying and mimicking you. No different than Brad. Brad knowing how to play on the emotions of black women. Because you as a black woman, you have allowed him to feel so comfortable coming in your space, degrading black men, stroking the ego of delusional black women. So now these women are hanging out and congregating and sending their super chats over to him. It's about business for Brads and Beckies. Why us as black men and black women, we created this because we trust others races more than we trust in each other, more than we trust amongst ourselves. We have given them the free room. We have given them the room to infiltrate. Because there's so much disdain and division amongst black men and black women. And Brad and Becky has figured it out. And really, they get free membership access. Becky could come on any black male platform as long as she is co-signing with his narratives, as long as she's putting black women in check and criticizing black women. She's automatically given a pass. Y'all not even realizing that she has learned y'all craft, and she knows in order for her to profit and be able to benefit through your platform, she has to play the part. No different when you're working on a job and you want to get hired a certain position. You're going to be cool and play the part and get along with the CEO. Get along with the supervisor. You get along with the man who is at the top of the chain. That way you can easily slide through the door. You're not going to deal with nobody on the bottom. And it's no different than Brad. Brad knows all he has to do is stroke the ego of black women. He starts a channel. He starts his own, selling his own books about how black women need to be treated as queens and how black men are garbage and black men are trash, while black women are clapping and celebrating them because he's going in on black men so bad. He's looking at it as a business. It's called black coddling. No different than you brothers. You so happy to have a Becky there. She ain't got to prove no real receipts. She ain't got to really prove she got any knowledge on what half the topics you're talking about. All she got to do is be white and she all right. A woman at the end of the day, a black woman, white woman, got motives. She's not going to involve herself in something where she sees no longevity. That's any woman. Call it gold digging, call it hustling, whatever you want to call it. Brads and Beckies are no exception to the game. And black people, y'all seek validation so bad, and you'll use anybody to weaponize the opposite race. If y'all can get Big Bird to bash black women, you'll let him on your panel. If you get Cookie Monster to bash black men, you'll let them on the panel. Y'all let the Brass and the Beckies capitalize by using them to weaponize against the opposite sex. Cause you done got bored with doing it by yourself. You done did weeks and weeks of ranting and pandering, bashing day in and day out. Your viewing points are on heavy rotation. You saying the same goddamn thing. You just saying it in different ways. Y'all get bored with hearing your damn self-talk. So you got to get Brad or Becky to come and join you and to refreshing your panel by helping you dig on black women and dig on black men some more. Because you ain't confident enough to do it by yourself. Or you need somebody to help you validate the points you've been preaching. And it's just sad. Y'all looking at it as protection. But Becky and Brad is looking at it for profit. They have sat back and studied and learned the arts of black bashing. They have crafted it better than black men and black women. They selling tell-all books. They selling coffee mugs and t-shirts. They having why to stay away from black women and stay away from black men seminars. And y'all the idiots that's up there paying for it. Y'all paying to build. Y'all still investing in the people who already done built off of your name and your platform. But you know what the crazy part is? Black people, we can always tell when we're trying to benefit off of each other. Now, black man, he gonna know if a black woman only trying to join his panel because she wants something, because she trying to grow her channel. But guess what? Becky doing the same thing, but he all right with it because it's Becky. Brad could go to any black male bashing channel. None of the women in the audience and the woman who's over the content, she's not going to feel no worries about it because it's Brad. But let Barry come over there. Just the fact that he black, oh, hell no. You just want to be on my panel for clout. What the fuck you think Brad and Becky there for? Excuse my French. Y'all, black people is all, you know the problem. Y'all always looking for a savior. Using your own voice ain't even enough no more. A lot of us are so insecure. We got to get a camp. We got to get a team to regurgitate and validate and repeat the same points over and over, because we don't even feel that we're worthy enough that our opinion should stand alone. We got to get other people to join in. The Brads and the Beckies are capitalizing. And y'all go for hours and hours and hours and hours on the panel, and you got the Becky sitting there watching how you degrade black women. And meanwhile, she's already plotting and calculating on how she's going to benefit from this. While you sitting up there so proud of your Becky partner, your Becky panelists. No different than the Brad or the white zaddies, whatever you call them. Say they'll sit up there and listen to the black women listen to black men bash black women and turn around and act like they the new white pope and compliment black women and talk about we queens, but they ain't there gonna get with a black woman. Matter of fact, their wife is white. Becky, her husband, her fiance, she's with a Brad. Becky is with a Brad. Brad is with a Becky. But if y'all notice, let me tell y'all how jaded the black community is. I've never even heard of Becky come on none of a black man's platform and talk bad about Brad. I've never seen it. Now, she'll talk bad about black women, but she's not going to say nothing bad about Brad, even to appease a black man. She's not going to do it. And Brad is not going to trash no Becky to fit in with the black women. Now, he's going to downgrade the black men. It just amazes me how gullible black men and black women are. Y'all so badly want to be validated. Brad and Becky is winning. They get known on your fort only to build their own fort. But if a sister wants to come on your panel and build and start from your fort so she can build her own, oh no, you ain't having that. It's all right for Brad to go build off the sisterhood platforms, but no black man, he better not dare come over there. Black man better not even call in. He'll get chewed out just calling in and stating his own opinion, even if he's doing it respectfully. Y'all not seeing the bigger picture. Y'all so glad y'all got somebody to do y'all dirty work for y'all. Y'all ain't realizing Brads and the Beckies are capitalizing off the hate in the black community. You so glad to have somebody put the black women in check. You so glad to have somebody put the black men in check. And meanwhile, Brads and Beckies, they the ones collecting checks. Because as soon as they done put in enough work, they going to jump off the bandwagon. They going to make money off of the craft you taught them. You taught them how to bash your own race, and they going to build off your own race. They going to break bread off of your own race. They're not going to come back and return the favor. Oh, well, you know, you did have me on your platform for a while. That's how people got to know me. So, you know, I want to look out for you and give you some of the cash apps. Once Becky and Brad done got to where they needed to go, they out of there. But you know what? A lot of y'all sisters and you brothers, y'all not going to discuss that. But let a black man or a black woman leave your ass and start building. You got everything to say. Nobody even knew him until I built them. Nobody even knew who she was. I brought Becky over here. I don't care. Becky could do all kind of shit. Y'all will never acknowledge it. Y'all will never talk bad about Becky. Becky can steal and build off your ass, and you still gonna have good shit to say about Becky. Becky good people. Becky cool people. Brad could build and steal. He's still better than black men. No, Brad done made his money. And he's going back to his Becky. Who he paying the Becky bills. He's married to a Becky. This is just unbelievable. I just cannot believe how gullible black people are. Y'all not getting the whole picture. Y'all so glad to have attack dogs. Y'all don't care. Let anybody in your platform, long as they agree with your narrative, if they white, they right. It's going to be interesting. I'm just going to sit back and see how the Brads and the Beckies are going to continue to keep capitalizing off of you content creators. Off of those of you who's giving them the spotlight. Those of you who's letting y'all subscribers ask for Becky's cash apps. Ask for Brad's cash apps. When they already asking for Becky cash app on your platform, you already losing right there. They start wanting to donate to Becky and they ain't donating to you no more, you already losing, bruh. I don't care how much they come and hang out in your chat room, but if their money is going with Becky, you are the weakest link. Same thing with Brad. Everybody want to donate to Brad. They ain't donating to you. They wouldn't even know who Brad was until you brought Brad on the show, but now they want to hang out with Brad. Now Brad is pandering. He has content on black women, how to love black women, how to treat black women, how to respect black women. He done learn how to do that black cuddling. Let me make a black woman feel good about herself, even though I'm married to a white woman. You won't catch me there with a black woman. I won't even date a black woman. Do you not realize you got Brad and Beckies that come in and are undercover racists? You know how many racists? We have them on our jobs. We have them in our neighborhoods. They'll sit right at your dinner table and don't even like you because you black. They'll work with you and give you a promotion and don't even like you because you're black. They just gave you the promotion because it's making them look good and it's helping them to hide their undercover tendencies of being racist. Y'all swear y'all got it going on with Brad and Becky, and y'all do not. I've been hearing a lot of spaces go in, black women just bitter and mad because Becky white. I've been hearing the sisters go in on the men who got a problem with Brad and putting Becky on the pedestal. And the bottom line is all of y'all getting played. Every last one of you are getting played by Brad and Becky. The only ones who ain't getting played are the ones who's not allowing them to come into space and capitalize, learn the craft, learn the talking points, learn the philosophies. Those are the only ones that's not getting played. But all of you who keep letting Becky and Brad, and let's face it, some people love to do content that triggers others. You have some content creators, they love to intentionally put the opposite race on their channel because they know it's a trigger. It's a trigger. It's what's the word? They basically know it's going to cause a grenade. And they do it because they like the attention and they like the hype that black women, they love to get the backlash from black women or the backlash from black men. A lot of these content creators, it's like a shock. It's like a culture shock. They like the culture shock by allowing the Brad and the Becky, knowing how black women are quick to get offended, knowing how black men are quick to get offended. They will intentionally allow the Brad and the Becky to get spotlight on the panel, use them to stir up controversy, to bring a large amount of subscribers, a large amount of audience, and it's all for value and profit. You got a lot of content creators who love to push buttons. They know if they bring a Becky, the sister's going to be all over it. They know if they bring a Brad, and they're going to be all over it. And again, it's all this guilt shaming. Well, y'all ain't said nothing when so-and-so had so-and-so over there. Both of y'all do it. Listen, black men not going to address what's not important to them. They're only going to address the parts that's important to them. Same thing with black women. They're only going to address what's important to them. Neither one of them do it. I done seen Beckies get on the show and say all kind of shit, and black men don't say nothing about it. I done seen Brads get on the sisterhood channels, and nobody say, the sisters ain't say nothing about it. Both of them do it. Both are guilty. I don't know, y'all, but I believe what's going to happen, the Brads and Beckies are going to continue to progress off of the black community's speaking points, off of the Man of Spirit speaking points, off of the Bitter Sisterhood speaking points. The Brads and the Beckies are going to continue to keep elevating. They're going to continue to keep winning. Black people, we're going to continue doing just what we do. We're going to degrade each other. We're going to stump on each other. We're going to discredit each other. And meanwhile, Brad and Becky's, they are going to continue to keep flourishing in the black sectors. So leave y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this. Please make sure you hit the like button before you leave. It's your girl in knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, we'll always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.